Hey guys, okay, so I wanted to just make this video for you guys really quickly and just share a few things about charting really strongly, but yet still very efficiently with this new charting system. And so I'm going to screen share with you guys and show you guys exactly how I would make sure I'm charting and I'm, being as efficient as possible with building my team, getting my fast starts, getting the volume in all the right places. And just building to where I'm going to have, it's not even going to be a problem for me having the necessary volume. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share. Let's see here. Okay. All right, so you guys should be able to see that. Okay, so I'm just gonna start with a Ruby chart and we're gonna go from here. Okay, so with the new Ruby chart, you only need 3 qualified legs. So if you were already charted Ruby before and you were just working on the volume, this is super simple. Your exact same 3 top lines you had before are transferring directly over. Obviously, like let's say one of them was already charted executive with the old charting system, person 1, person 2, that's fine. They're still there, but you're going to write the main person's name down in the box. Does that make sense? Okay, so now what I really wanted to go over is, let's say you're brand new and you're charting Ruby. And so you go ahead and you sign your husband, you sign a girl named Susan who comes to you, really wants to join your team, and then you sign someone named Tiffany. So these people all just signed in the last 3 days. Let's say you used your $20 codes, you got them signed. The next thing you're going to want to do is obviously start placing for your fast starts. So you're going to get your husband fast start qualified, Susan fast start qualified, and then Tiffany. I'm going to number these 1, 2, 3. Let's say after getting your husband fast start qualified, oh, sorry guys, let me move that. Let's say after getting your husband fast start qualified, Susan has already gotten herself fast start qualified. She already has her first few customers. Well, then in that case, you're going to come over and you're going to get Tiffany fast start qualified. Okay, so the next thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is you're going to start stacking. And so this is what the main purpose of this Zoom is. So let's say you now sign someone named Becky. You're going to want to go ahead and place Becky under your husband. And then let's say someone else comes and joins you. Let's say Susan signs her husband. And then you sign someone named Sally. You're going to stack Sally under Tiffany. Now you're going to want to make sure that all these people get fast start qualified too. Your priority is going to be first Becky and then Sally because you signed them. But then if you come after that and you see that Susan has not yet gotten her husband fast start qualified, you're going to come there next. You always want to make sure every single person on your team is fast start qualified. That's just rule number 1. Okay, at this point, let's say now you sign another person. You're going to go ahead and stack them under Susan because again, we want as many working people. Let's say this is Adriana. We want as many working people as we can to make sure each of these legs is very strong. So now let's say after getting your husband fast start qualified, Becky fast start qualified, they are already over 400. You put some big customers there. You're going to go ahead and highlight them. You know that's done. Let's say after getting Susan fast start qualified, her husband and Adriana fast start qualified, Susan is now at 400. You're going to highlight. And then now let's say after getting Tiffany and Sally fast start qualified, they're at 300. So you're going to write a 100 above their name because you know that there still needs another 100 for Tiffany to be at 400. Now, moving on to your Emerald chart, I'm going to show you how this is going to transfer over. But you're going to want to stack is what I initially was wanting to show you under every box initially. Now going to your Emerald. So we're going to transfer all this back over. So you have your husband, you have Susan, Tiffany. Susan had her husband, and you put Adriana over here. And then I don't remember who did we put over Becky. That's right. Okay. So then you have Becky right here. Okay, so now the next few people that you sign, you're going to stack under your husband first. That's where the next two distributors are definitely going. And then your third distributor over here under Susan. Now, I'm going to give you guys a couple scenarios. Let's say Susan actually never started working. Like she signed her husband, that was great. You stacked Adriana, but then she actually didn't ever really start working. Let's just scenario wise, let's just throw that out there because that does happen sometimes. But let's say Tiffany is working really hard. And remember, you did put one person under Tiffany. You put Sally. And then in that case, you're going to put Tiffany here. Sally's there. We'll go and write Susan here. And then we're going to talk to Tiffany about getting her husband signed. If she's not married, she can get a boyfriend. If she doesn't have a boyfriend, she can get her mom, whoever. Let's just go and write husband. And that's what that's going to look like. And then your third distributor will go there. So here's what I want to tell you. We never, ever, ever, ever build someone to Ruby. So obviously your husband's going to be this Ruby over here, ideally. But we never build someone to Ruby who isn't working. So if Susan and Tiffany aren't working, we're not going to build them to Ruby. We're going to build someone who is. So let's also go down the scenario that Tiffany wasn't working either, but Sally was. Then we're going to go ahead and write Sally there. Tiffany still exists. She's up here. You still get paid on all her volume, but she's not actually in the box. So we're going to write Sally, and then Sally will sign her husband. And then you would need, oops, sorry guys. You would need two more distributors. That would be where your third and fourth go. 1 and 2 still would go over here. Now this may look over here, this Ruby leg may look like a lot of people would think, oh, wouldn't I just want to build Tiffany because it's less spots? But here's the thing, we don't want to go with what's less spots. We want to go with what's actually going to stick. And so we always want to build who's working. We never, ever, ever, ever want to build someone that's not working. So if Tiffany's not working, we don't build her. If Susan's not working, we don't build her. Remember, we had Adriana under Susan. So if Adriana was working, we could go with her. If Sally's working, we go with her. Does that make sense? But going back to Ruby, because I want to make sure everyone understood this first part. When you are building for Ruby, you have your box, and I'm going to clear this and start over. You have your boxes 1, 2, and 3. That is obviously where your first 3 distributors go. One of them should be your spouse. If you're watching this video and you have not yet signed your spouse or significant other, they need to be signed. That's really important. But after that, it's your next 2 distributors. But immediately what you want to do after that is stack. So number 4, number 5, and number 6. You're going to stack under every single one before you do anything else. So before you pull up that emerald chart, you want to go ahead and stack 4, 5, and 6 because you want this to be strong. With this new chart to go Ruby, it is less people, and that's amazing. But we want to make sure we're building strong and we have plenty of volume because you do need 2,000 in group volume to promote to Ruby. So if all you did was get this leg to 400, this leg to 400, and this leg to 400, you could do the math. That is, sorry guys, I don't know why that keeps popping up. That is just going to be 1,200. And then of course, you're running your 80 BB auto shipment. So that's going to be 80. And then these people are all going to run, excuse me guys, they're 80 as well. So we have 80, 80, 80. So what's 80 times 4, you guys? I don't have a calculator. And hashtag mom brain, it's been a long day. So that's an extra 320 from all this. So that puts you at 1,520, but you still need 2,000. So that's where having this person, and this person stacked is going to come into play really huge because now we're going to focus on getting them to 400 as well too. That's another 1,200. And that puts you well over your 2,000, 2,720. So even if one of these people wasn't at 400, you would still have the volume you needed to promote. Does that make sense? So that is where stacking comes into play. I'm a huge proponent of stacking. Stacking has gotten me to where I'm at in the business. I will always stack. Whenever I went presidential, after I was charted pres, I just continued to stack the whole rest of the month in weak spots that didn't have volume. That way I could maximize my chart and promote faster. And then this leads me to my next thing I wanted to say. So let's say you have your first 3 distributors. Let's say it's your husband and 2 other people. Okay, so obviously we already established you want to place for your fast starts first and foremost. So you're placing 2 LCs here, and then 2 more here, and then 2 more here. Because we want to get fast start qualified. That's 100, 100, and 100. That's $300 in your pocket. So that's a no-brainer. You want to place for that. Well now, but you also still want all these legs at 400 to promote, right? But why would we want to build them to 400 when we could just place for more fast starts? So now if we place distributor number 4, distributor number 5, and distributor number 6, instead of getting these boxes to 400, we can actually place for our fast starts here, here, and here. And that volume is going to add to these people. Does that make sense? I know there's a lot of squiggly lines everywhere, but the customers that you place under number 4, number 5, and number 6, number 4s go to number 1, number 5s go to number 2, number 6 goes to number 3, as far as the 400 in volume. You place the customers under those people, but that counts towards your overall volume you needed for the top person. I hope I'm making sense right now. So basically that's going, I'm going to clear this just so it's clean again. So that's going to help you get these people to 400 faster. So let's say you placed 2 customers here totaling, let's just say it totaled 150, you placed a 90 and a 60. And let's just say you did that with all, just for simplicity's sake, okay? And then you sign distributors that you stacked underneath. Well, now let's say you place 2 customers here, here, and here, also totaling 150. Well, now what does this really mean? That means these top boxes are actually all at 300. So you have a total of 300. And what do you need them at to promote? You need them at 400. So does that make sense? By stacking, you're getting the top boxes to 400 faster, but you're stacking so efficiently. You're getting your fast starts. While doing this and placing for all this volume, you could just collected $600 because you collected $100 here, 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 and here. Does that make sense? Meanwhile, let's say each of these people sign their spouse and they're getting their spouse's fast start qualified. Boom, that's going to put all these top boxes at 400. Easy peasy. Does that make sense? And then I want to show you guys how this would kind of look on an emerald chart. And I hope I'm not losing y'all right now. But same thing on an emerald. Actually, I'm not going to clear that. I'm just going to leave this as is. So let's say for this emerald chart, there we go. Okay, so for the emerald chart, let's say you have it charted just like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to stack your next couple of distributors here, 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 then come back and stack here and here. Remember, we already had Adriana here. So we're just going to continue to stack under all these bottom boxes. Does that make sense? Because again, as we're placing for fast starts here, 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 and here, we just racked up $600 in fast starts, but also we're very efficiently getting these people to 400. Does that make sense? But instead of just placing more volume under Becky, more volume under 1, 2, this person's husband, number 3 and 4, we're placing under our new distributors down here, which is in turn getting these top people to 400, but then we're getting our fast starts at the same time. I'm going to clear this chicken scratch off, but does this make sense, you guys? Hopefully this does. And then I want to show you the same thing as we're going for diamond. Okay, so you've transferred everyone over here onto diamond. Let's say you get yourself fully charted diamond, okay? You're fully charted diamond, you're just working on volume. Everywhere you have not yet stacked and everywhere that you need volume, you're gonna stack. So let's say this ruby leg's good. It's already like a done deal. They're basically almost ruby. They've got 1,800 in volume. They're getting it done. They're gonna get that last 200, no problem. It'll be done tomorrow. But this emerald leg over here is kind of weak. These boxes right here are really bare. Where's your next 3 distributors gonna go? Here, here, and here. And then instead of having to fill those bare boxes and get them to 400, you're gonna be able to place volume under your new distributors and collect your $300 in fast starts while still getting this person, and this person to 400. Does that make sense? Same thing if you had a bare box over here. You're gonna stack someone, Place for your fast start. Now this box right here isn't so bare. The next thing that I wanted to show you guys about charting is, let's say you have someone right here who is not really working. You stacked underneath them like we just established. So you have this person down here. We're going to just put a star, and they're working, they're hustling. You helped them get fast start qualified. They signed 10 customers. This box is more than past 400. But this person right here isn't really working. Well, next month when this person is building for Emerald and they're moving up and they're Emerald now, they can use Rising Star down here as that Ruby. They don't have to use this person. The cream always rises to the top. So whoever is working the hardest in that leg, you can bring them up at any time when it makes sense. It doesn't have to be the original person. Does that make sense? I have so many situations where, let me clear this. I have so many situations where I have a diamond, you know, on the team who is actually underneath someone who is an executive. But that diamond outworked the executive. That's fine. So like, you don't always have to keep the original person in the box. Like if someone underneath them outworks, that you can pull them up. Now, if it's just a 400 box on the chart, you don't have to do that. Like you can just leave the original person. So let's just say we have Sally right here. Let's say Sally has like 3 people under her. They're all working so hard, but number 1 is like busting it out. Let's say she already went Ruby. That's fine. If this person's already Ruby 2, it doesn't really matter for the sake of your chart. When it matters is when Rising Star over here is now in the Emerald box. Then you would want to bring person 1, who's also Ruby, and you just want to put her there and then put her team right there. Does that make sense? I know like this stuff that I'm getting into can kind of get a little confusing when you're not actually seeing the example in front of you, but hopefully this is making a little bit of sense. The biggest thing though that I wanted to just go over is stacking. So I'm gonna touch on this one last time. I don't want this to be too long. You are charting for Ruby right now. You're going to keep 3 on your top line. You're not going to keep any more on your top line. So if you have 5 people that you've signed in the past 2 days, 4 and 5 need to go somewhere. You need to stack 1 under here and 1 under here. It doesn't actually have to be under person 1 and 2. It could be 2 and 3. It can be wherever you want, but you need to stack them. And then eventually have someone stacked under each person, under 1, 2, and 3, just for stability purposes. And once you have done that, then you can move over to your Emerald chart. You can transfer them all over, 1, 2, and 3. 4, 5, 6, and then you can continue building from there. And then remember what I was saying, between like person 2 and person 3, whoever you want to run with to Ruby right here, you can run with. It doesn't actually have to be person 2. So if person 3 is the harder worker, then go ahead and just put person 3 there with number 6, person 2 with number 5s over here. Make sense? Okay. That's the gist of what I wanted to say, but and this stays true even if you're building for a higher promotion. I know we have some people diamond above watching this video right now, so I'll just go ahead and go over here. Let's say you're fully charted double. I'm not even going to write all these names in here, but let's just say you're fully charted double diamond. It's a done deal. Before you pull out that triple chart, go ahead and just stack under any spots that are weak. Stack, stack, stack until you promote to double diamond. And then once you actually promote, then you can start pulling out the triple. But the best thing you can do is stack, because you want this promotion to be solid. You want it to be a done deal. You don't want to have to find yourself at the end of the month and then still have, you know, I'm just going to use the highlighting tool now, have this person over here that still needs almost a whole 400, this person here, this person here. You don't want to have to mess with that. So the way that you avoid that is by stacking. So let's say you're fully charted double. The next 3 distributors you sign are going to go in the weakest spots on your entire chart. So if that's this, and this, then so be it. And then let's say after you do that, let's say there's still a couple places they're not as weak as those, but they only have, you know, 250. They still need another 150 and the person's not really working that hard. Let's say it's this and this. Well, then that's where your next 2 distributors are going to go. Do you see what I'm saying? You're just going to stack, 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 because that's going to make your chart so strong. And instead of having to fill this last 150 you needed here, and this last 150 you needed here, and this last 300 you needed here, you can literally just place for your fast starts under all these new people you signed that you stacked. And boom, you're collecting $1, $2, $3, $4, $500 in fast starts while still placing for the volume you need for your promotion. Does that make sense? It's so much more fun to place for volume for a promotion when you are also racking up fast starts. And if you're a diamond running for double, you're not just racking up fast starts, you're racking up cabs too. So that's super exciting. And again, as you're stacking, make sure you're working with all these people. Even if you beat them to it and you got them fast start qualified before they got their first few customers, get them signing their spouses and starting to get their spouses fast start qualified, and starting to get their spouses their shopping sprees and all that stuff, because that's just going to solidify that these boxes get to 400 so much faster, and they're going to be so much stronger. And then if these original people here, 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 and here weren't ever really working that hard, then next month when you're doing your triple, you're going to use these new people that you stacked that are so excited and are on top of the world and are running with you. They're going to be the people you get to work with, and it's going to be so fun, and it's going to make this double promotion so much stronger, but it's going to also set you up so much better for triple because you're going into triple as a strong double. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to clear this. Hopefully this all makes sense. I'm going to stop the screen sharing now. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and share that with you guys. Stacking is absolutely life. It's my favorite thing ever. It's always so much better to stack and build strong than it is to like scatter all these people all over the place. And then everyone only has 2 customers and it's just a mess. And you're trying to get everything to 400, but you're also trying to make sure you don't miss fast starts. By doing it this way, you never have to worry about missing a fast start, but you also are getting the volume at the same time. For me, I never, ever, ever don't miss. I never don't place for fast starts, if that makes sense. So I'm always going to place for fast starts before I place for anywhere. So if I'm running for promotion, I'm going to place my new distributors where I need volume because the fast start's not going to get missed. I'm going to be placing for that no matter what. So I might as well be making it efficient to where it's volume and fast starts all at once. Does that make sense? So hopefully this helps you guys. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in the comments and I'll answer them. But I just wanted to make sure that I took some time, made this video for you guys because it's a new charting system. We're set up like beautifully to promote, and rack up these bonuses, but we want to make sure that it's just a done deal and that we're building so rock solid and so strong. So anyways, I love you guys so much. I will talk to you guys soon.